can count on. KOAT Action 7 News at 10 starts right now.
Ballots being finalized for this year's primary day. Good evening, I'm Shelley Rubando.
And I'm Doug Fernandez. Polls closing hours ago, and tonight we are continuing to bring you the latest from the ballot box.
Sasha Leninger and John Cardinelli are covering the Republican gubernatorial candidates. Stephanie Moniz is focusing on the state attorney general's race. And Angel Saucedo has more on today's polls and possible issues coming from today's voters.
And we're also joined by our political experts, Brian Sanderoff and Rhiannon Samuel, with their thoughts on the results. And we begin with the gubernatorial race on the Republican side. Just in the last hour, KOAT political analyst Brandon Sanderoff called that race for Mark Ronchetti. There are the results right there. Right now, 59% for Ronchetti, 16% for Rebecca Dow, Greg Zanetti at 13%, Jay Block at 10%. So Mark Ronchetti will take on Michelle Lujan Grisham in November.
And John Cardinelli is live at the Ronchetti campaign headquarters. John, a lot of celebrating there tonight.
Yeah, hey, Shelley and Doug. Obviously, a lot of celebrating. A pretty empty room right now, but around 8 o'clock when we called that race, this room in here just erupted. At that point in time, Ronchetti was ahead of Dow by about 40 points. Now, this is what it looked like shortly after that when Ronchetti went on stage and gave his victory speech. Ronchetti thanked the crowd for all of their support, then touched on what he would like to do if elected in November. He touched on how he would like to help pass more tough-on-crime legislation, better education for New Mexico children, and CYFD reform. He also made some comments about the current governor.
We have big change that is needed across this state. And unfortunately, we have a governor who has decided that she will look out for the best interests of the elites in Santa Fe instead of you. That day stops today.
And Ronchetti will face off against Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham in November. Reporting live in Albuquerque, I'm John Cardinelli, KOAT Action 7 News.
Ron, thank you. And to break down this race, I'll send it back over to Doug, who's with our expert, Brian Sanderoff.
Shelley, thanks. A political insider against a political outsider. Where do you see this race going over the next 4 to 5 months?
Well, this race will be much more competitive than what we saw 4 years ago. You know, 4 years ago, Michelle Lujan Grisham won by 100,000 votes, 14 percentage points. This time it'll be much more competitive. The mood in the state and nation have changed a bit.
Mark Ronchetti took on in the primary a relatively known politician in U.S. Representative Rebecca Dow. What do you think the keys to his substantial victory were?
Well, he started out with really strong name recognition, being a meteorologist on TV for years, having run for the U.S. Senate 2 years ago. So that name recognition was essential. Then he ran a great campaign, quite frankly. It got rough, a lot of negative ads, and I think that suppressed Rebecca Dow's support.
You talk about negative ads. I don't think the viewers really like when we talk about it, but it seems that they go so negative so quickly, and it already went that way in the primary. So can we expect that to be even worse possibly through November?
We can absolutely expect a nasty race in the governor's race between the Democrat and Republican come the general election. Unfortunately, that's how things are played these days.
When we talk about an outsider going against an insider, he would have a lot of ammunition, at least in his mind he would. What about the other way around? What will the Democrat be going after the Republican in this particular race, because he does not have a political background?
Right, and they'll try to use that to their advantage, talk about his lack of experience during these very serious times that we live in. But Ronchetti has an advantage that he hasn't been in elected office, so he doesn't have much of a record.
Right, all right, Brian, thank you. Shelley.
And tonight we received a statement from Michelle Lujan Grisham on the race, saying in part, this election we face a choice between continuing the path forward or taking us back, between a leader who has committed their life to the state of New Mexico. And many consider Lujan Grisham the frontrunner heading into the general election for governor, but history may be on Mark Ronchetti's side. In the past 30 years, New Mexicans have actually elected a governor from the party opposite the president. The last governor to lose re-election was Democrat Bruce King in 1994. And in the race for the Democratic nominee for state attorney general, this race remaining tight. As of right now, DA Raul Torres is leading Brian Colon. And the winner of that race will face off with Republican Jeremy Gay in November.
Reporter Stephanie Moniz checked in with both of them today.
Doug, Shelley, well, right now the Democratic Attorney General race is pretty close. At our last check, it looked like Raul Torres was leading with 54% of the votes. Meanwhile, Brian Colon had 46% of those votes. Now, here at the Raul Torres campaign headquarters, headquarters. His supporters are watching the votes come in. We talked to him this morning when he voted at the Montezuma Elementary School. Earlier, I did catch up with Brian Colon at his home. He says he spent the day at Varela's Coffee House and is grateful for all the voters that went out and voted today. Although Torres is leading, Colon has not given up yet.
I'm just grateful. I really am. Of course, we're optimistic, but really my main emotion right now is just grateful.
We're eager to get engaged in a lot of those big policy issues and just looking forward to the future.
Now, we are at Raul Torres' campaign headquarters. Like I told you guys, I just want to give you guys a look at what we were looking at. Raul Torres was said to be coming in the next few minutes, but we haven't seen him come in yet. Reporting live in downtown Albuquerque, Stephanie Muniz, KOAT Action 7 News.
The New Mexico Attorney General is allowed to serve 2 terms. Hector Balderas has already done it. Let's talk about this race a little bit more now. And speaking of Hector Balderas, he came out in support of Brian Colon, whereas U.S. Senator Martin Heinrich came out in support of Raul Torres. A lot of times when you have 2 relatively close candidates, it comes down to endorsements, and there's a long list, as you've shown us right here.
Yes, and it comes down to names that people know and trust. So on the Torres' side, he has 2 former AGs that have come out in support of him, Barnaky and Patsy Madrid. So I thought that was interesting, the dichotomy of a current AG and former ones backing different candidates.
You know, we talked about negative ads a little bit earlier with Brian in the gubernatorial race. This one was really, really bad. These folks were really, really going after each other. And sometimes it got really, really personal. A lot of times it got off into the weeds about where they were getting their money, where they weren't getting their money. What really resonates with the voter?
Well, I think, unfortunately, negative ads do resonate, but it's about who did something wrong the worst, I suppose, and who's going to have something to do with their lives, and it makes sense to them. And these where it's really detailed when it comes down to litigation and decisions on cases, and in a state where we have crime that's such an issue, those negative ads go a long way.
We've talked a lot about gun legislation and gun reform with what's been transpiring in the country, all the tragedies in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and basically for the last 20 plus years. Do you see either one of these candidates spearheading efforts to try and rein in gun control and gun reform here in New Mexico?
Certainly, if Torres is the one that takes the bid on the Democratic side, he already has an endorsement from Moms Demand Action on Gun Reform. And so that endorsement and presumably some financial contribution means that he'll have more to say going into the general, and if elected, might take some suit against guns.
This one, a lot of times, this particular race doesn't get a lot of attention, but this one certainly has, and I'm sure that will continue through November. Rhiannon, thank you. Shelley.
And across our state, thousands of ballots have been collected and are now being counted. Angel Saucedo is live from the Bernalillo County Collection Warehouse, where a group of local athletes are lending a hand. Hi, Angel.
Hey, Shelley. Yeah, well, the job is just about finished here. Check out the parking lot here. These are the last 2 or 3 cars here remaining with ballot boxes left from Bernalillo County. Now, Bernalillo County has around 72 different polling centers, and each one of these cars, check out this video here. Each one of the cars you see in this video has one separate ballot box. You can imagine just how many boxes have been taken into this warehouse. But the Duke City Gladiators, they were here to help. We spoke to defensive end Byron Cooper about their day helping the community.
Just to take a little bit of weight off of the community's shoulders, being able to carry these ballots in and carry these boxes in. It's also a great way for some of our newer teammates to kind of see what's going on in the community. So we feel like we're servicing the community more than just, you know, the big stage games, you know, that's playing for the high dollar.
Cooper also says many of the Gladiators actually make New Mexico their home. So today, days like this are really great opportunities for them to learn more about their community. I'm live in Albuquerque, Angel Saucedo, KOAT Action.